Inside this Lightroom tutorial, I'm going to show you one quick trick using a tool you probably didn't even know existed in Lightroom to help you batch set your exposures and get your edits done faster. You ready? Let's get into it. All right, guys, I've got a wedding in here and I'm gonna waste no time. If you've ever edited a shoot with hundreds of photos, you know it takes a long time to go through and match the exposure of each photo. Some are too bright, some are too dark. We need to get these all set to the right spot. Turns out that Lightroom has this tool up here. If I grab, say, all of the photos from a specific scene, all these photos of the bride, some of them too bright, some of them too dark. I'm gonna select all of them and then find one that kind of has a medium exposure. Let's go with this one. Make sure that that's kind of the highlighted one in your selection. We're gonna go up to our photo menu up here. Scroll down to where it says Develop Settings right there. Go over to the very bottom to this little tool that says Match Total Exposure. Now here's the fun part. We click that and Lightroom's gonna say, okay, compared to this photo here, these ones need to be brightened. These ones probably too dark. We should brighten those up. And it's gonna get your photos much closer in terms of overall exposure. Still not perfect. We've still gotta go in, adjust our white balance, apply a preset, all that other stuff, but it has saved quite a bit of time when it comes to adjusting exposure. I've got another scene here of the bride coming out and all these girls seeing her for the first time. So let's do the same thing. Let's grab all these photos. I'm gonna grab one that kind of has a medium exposure. Say this photo right here looks okay, so that's great. Go up here, Photo, and down here, Develop Settings, over to where it says Match Total Exposure. And in theory, it's gonna brighten up the photos that need brightening and darken the ones that need darkening. Now this technique does not work if you just grab the entire wedding and go in here, go Photo, Develop Settings, Adjust Exposure. Trust me, I've tried. I was way too excited about this. I was like, this is amazing. It's amazing sometimes. It can save you some time sometimes. It's not perfect. So let's go in. It works really great with photos that are very similar scenes. So we've got our family shoot right here. So I'm gonna grab all of the kind of family group photos all at once. And what you can do is you can actually set the exposure on one of these and then it'll match it across all of them. So I can grab, say, this photo of the guys, and then I could go in, adjust the exposure up, and from there, Photo, Develop Settings, Match Total Exposure, and it will brighten all the rest of them to match. So this works really good in those kind of situations where the photos are similar. But I've found it has really mixed results if you try and apply it to photos that are too different from each other. So that's just a quick trick that can really help you speed up your edits because your exposure is that much closer to getting nicely. All right. Now, one little bonus trick for you in case you don't use the grid view very often for editing. It turns out when it comes to batch editing, this is my go-to. Why? Because you can make really quick adjustments in a way that you just can't with the Develop module. So Develop module, you have to go through photo by photo. But the grid view, you can actually come over here where it says Tone Control and White Balance. Let's say my white balance for the day was all over the place. I can select all the photos with Command A or Control A on a PC. Go up here and just go Auto. Bam. Lightroom's gonna think about this, and for the most part, it'll get it pretty close across all these photos. I can also go in here to my tint and my temperature, my exposure, all these things, and do batch edits. So in general, if all my photos were a little bit cold from that day, or I just like to edit a little bit warmer than what Lightroom's auto is, that's fine. I can hit this to get little increments of exposure and white balance and increase or decrease. I can also hit these little guys on the outside, these arrows, to make those exposure increments or those light increments bigger or smaller. So I would encourage you to check this out because the grid view can save you a lot of time when it comes to batch editing and just getting your photos synced. So let's try this one more time just to show you that trick. Grab all these photos from this ceremony. So let's grab these ones all the way down to down here. Now this one actually looks like it's got reasonably good exposure. So I'm gonna leave this as the highlighted adjustment up here to where it says Photo, Develop Settings, and Match Total Exposures. Voila. Lightroom's gone ahead and saved us a ton of time and adjusted all those exposures for us. So if this video was helpful, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. Let me know in the comments below. Any tools in the grid view that you actually find really helpful? Let's have a conversation. Hit subscribe if you want more content like this. And if you want some free presets, check those out in the description link below. All right, I'll see you in the next video. In the meantime, create something awesome. Peace.